Hello, and welcome back to DevOps Quick Bites, your friendly guide to Salesforce DevOps. I'm Rob Cowell, here to help you simplify and streamline your Salesforce DevOps journey. So in today's episode, we're diving into feature flags in Salesforce, a powerful tool to control the rollout of new functionality without redeploying it. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. Feature flags act like switches in your application that let you toggle features on and off in real time. Think of them as remote controls for enabling functionality. They're commonly used in dark launches, introducing features to production but keeping them hidden until they're ready, and incremental rollouts, gradually enabling features for select users to monitor the performance or feedback of those features. In Salesforce, you can implement feature flags using custom metadata, custom permissions, or permission sets. These tools allow you to control access dynamically across various components like Apex, Lightning Web Components, Flow, and even dynamic forms. Now that we've covered what feature flags are, let's explore how to implement them in Salesforce. The great thing is, Salesforce provides several tools that will make this process straightforward and flexible. Here's three approaches: custom metadata types, custom permissions, and permission sets. So first up, custom metadata types. Think of these as a database table for storing your settings, just like your feature flags. You can create a custom metadata type called feature flags with fields like feature name and is enabled, and then each record represents a feature, and the is enabled field determines whether or not it's turned on or off. For example, if you're working on a dark mode feature, you could create a record for it with is enabled set to true. Developers can then query this metadata in Apex or use it in declarative tools like Flow to control that functionality dynamically. Next up, custom permissions. These are great for a more granular control. You can define permissions for specific features and then assign them to profiles or permission sets. Custom permissions work especially well when you want features to be accessible to particular roles or groups of users. For instance, you could create a custom permission for dark mode and assign it to a pilot group of users who'll test that feature before a broader release. Finally, permission sets. These are a bit more flexible than profiles because you can assign them to users individually. For each feature, you can create a permission set and then assign it only to the users or roles where you want to access that functionality. And that's particularly useful for controlled rollouts. Think of it as flipping the switch for just a handful of users to get that feedback before a wider launch. Now here's the exciting part. You can use these feature flag configurations across different parts of Salesforce. In Apex, you can query custom metadata or check a user's permissions to determine whether a feature is enabled. For example, you might want to write a service class to encapsulate that logic and make it reusable across your org. In Lightning Web Components, you can pass the feature flag state as a property to dynamically show or hide parts of the interface or carry out custom functionality. Even in declarative tools like Flow, you can include a decision element to check a custom metadata field or a permission assignment, and guide users through different paths based on whether or not that feature is enabled. And of course, don't forget dynamic forms. You can use the conditional visibility feature to display components only when that feature flag is active. Even formula fields can make use of this. For example, you could display a text message or status like feature coming soon or feature enabled based on the state of the flag. These tools give you the power to roll out the features with a lot more precision and control, and they allow both pro-code and low-code users to collaborate. So, whether you're launching a new experience or just experimenting, Salesforce has the flexibility to make that happen. So let's have a look at how to use these in practice. Let's say you're releasing a dark mode feature. You can deploy the functionality behind the flag, enable it only for internal testers, and gather feedback and adjust it before a wider rollout. For those high-impact changes that you want to roll out gradually, you can assign permissions to a pilot group, and then monitor their experience using Salesforce monitoring tools and ensure it's all stable before scaling it out to everybody. Now, Although feature flags are highly valuable for progressive delivery, they're primarily a development tool. The setup requires coding and configuration within the application layer. However, as part of your implementation of this technique in your overall DevOps process, you should integrate feature flags into your pipelines to ensure proper testing in lower environments, synchronization across teams using version control, monitoring flag usage and the impact using those CI/CD tools. Feature flags offer flexibility and control in delivering Salesforce functionality with much less risk. From those dark mode launches to controlled rollouts, they empower teams to move fast without breaking things. And remember, while feature flags lean towards development, their alignment with DevOps practices like version control and automation ensures that you get a seamless and reliable deployment process. Thank you for watching DevOps Quick Bites. If you found this episode helpful, like, share, and subscribe for more Salesforce DevOps tips. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next episode.